Ladies and gentlemen, our following contest brought to you by Bernie Smith Cars. Kolby Chaos Johnston versus Benny CAPPS. Ladies and gentlemen, our following contest is brought to you by Bernie Smith Cars. 8 by 3-minute rounds in the light middleweight division. Your referee in charge of this contest, Mr. Wayne Ashdown. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Gonzo Hooper out of Platinum Boxing, with an official weight of 69.3 kilograms, wearing black trunks with silver. Undefeated, 7 fights, 7 wins, 4 ending by way of knockout. Fighting out of Townsville in Queensland, Kolby Chaos Johnston! And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, trained by Rick Breeze at Shadows Gym, with an official weight of 69.2 kilograms, wearing black trunks with blue trunks with white. A fight record, 17 fights, 12 wins, 2 draws, 4 ending by way of knockout. Fighting out of Eltham, right here in Melbourne, ladies and gentlemen, Ben CAPPS!
And we're almost ready for a start. Welcome back, wherever you might be around this great country of ours, whether it's in Victoria, New South Wales, Perth in Western Australia. We're here for a start. That's Kolby Johnston in the black and the grey, and Ben CAPPS from here in Melbourne, Victoria.
Opposing stances, gentlemen, of the right-handed fighter in CAPPS, taking on the southpaw in Johnston.
For sure, Hammer. You know, I think this is going to be a cracker. Kolby Johnston is the grandson of the great Bronco Johnston. I promoted him a couple of years ago against Daniel Smith, and he was very impressive, getting a close victory over Daniel Smith. But Ben CAPPS I've promoted quite a few times too, and Ben comes to fight. He's always very fit, and it's going to be a really top fight, this.
8 by 3-minute rounds is what we're in for, folks. And the guys will warm up to it after the first round.
Ooh. Good right hook from Kolby Johnston there. Actually shook Ben CAPPS.
He has got some power. He's got some power. 4 knockouts from his 7 wins, undefeated. And he has been active.
You'll look to see Johnson, sorry Brad, you'll look to see Johnson step it on the outside with his lead leg and throw that big rear hook off his left hand.
Yeah, plenty of power in that.
He needs to have that right hand go on the outside of Ben's left leg and come straight down the pipe, just like he did there.
Straight left.
Yep.
Straight left from Johnston again, paying dividends for him, the rear hand at this point in this fight, and already looking to be an interesting battle.
Certainly, some really good punches exchanged by both boys.
That's Ben Capps in the blue trunks with the red boxing gloves and the black boots.
You know, with a southpaw, Ben Capps facing a southpaw, you'd think he'd want to stay right up on top of him, bustle him out of his position, keep that, which is what he's trying to do. But saying that, Kolby Johnston's got fast hands and lots of power.
And he's got good head movement. I'd like to see Capps step left, throw right, and keep circling off to that left side. He's coming to the inside a little bit.
He's a little bit too square. He is moving to the left, but he needs to get that right hand down the pipe. He's tried it there. And again, big punches.
A couple of nice punches by Kolby Johnston. He's got fast hands and he's got power in both hands.
Hasn't he ever? Big punches landed there.
And Barry doesn't waste his punches neither, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Yep.
Hundreds of tent fights, I believe.
Yeah,
Fred Brophy.
Yeah, Fred Brophy. And I met Fred for the first time in a couple of years yesterday at the weigh-in. It was good to see Fred.
Fred's a character and a half.
Yeah. Actually, the last time I saw him was with you at Jupiter's Casino on the Gold Coast, Barry, for a
That'd be right.
We were there with Lionel Rose and Famo and a few other notables.
Fred's an absolute character, that's for sure. A legend of boxing. I think the last remaining boxing tent in the world.
Yep.
Big bombs landed here. 30 seconds to go in round 3. Ben Capps taken some big shots, but landed big shots as well. Both boys landing big punches.
I think the fact that Capps has taken those big shots, it's actually slowed his reaction time a little bit now. He's been a little bit bullied up in the first round by Kolby, and Chaos is doing the number. Just looking crisp. He's very clear in the eyes and been accurate with his striking thus far.
And his punches are coming on a different angle, Mark, aren't they? That he's upset Benny Capps for a little while, and Benny just hasn't been able to settle down into a rhythm as we see the end of round number 1. And it's got to be a good round for the visiting Queenslander trained by Gonzo Hooper. Here we see some of the action.
So Capps just weaving, trying to get away from the power.
There's that temple shot by Ben Capps. That was a good shot too.
Both boys landed good shots, but Kolby landed the cleaner and harder one. But Ben certainly landed some good shots. He landed right hand, but cop 3 back.
Bang, beautiful weave. Yeah. He weaves nicely and counters off the weave beautifully. He does, Kolby Johnston, the Queenslander.
And you'll notice that one thing with Kolby Johnston, he's always got a punch coming. Benny was trying to play counterboxer there, but Kolby always had a punch coming to answer what he was. He walked into a couple. But gee, I like
he dished out plenty.
Yep. First time I've seen Kolby. Known him for a little while, and
I've got to say, Kolby's cornered by 2 of my old sparring partners, Brian Butler and Gonzo Hooper.
What a team they are!
Round number 2.
I sparred lots of rounds with Brian Butler.
Yep, and he was a handy fighter too, Brian.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Back into round number 2 here at the Melbourne Pavilion. TV Ringside, proudly resurrected by our very own former World Super Featherweight Champion Barry Michael, who's here with me at ringside, and Mark the Hammer Castanini.
One of Ben Capps' big victories was a stoppage victory over the southpaw Freddie Tukes, who's sparred with about 30 of the best world champions ever, and was actually brought out here as the sparring partner for Koshchazoo.
Well, Tukes actually a southpaw as well.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and he's pretty handy.
And the funny part about that, guys, they fought a draw just 6 months previous to that, where the scores were 59-55, 55-59, and 57-57.
Yep.
So they're a little bit erratic. And then, of course, Ben Capps came and he made no mistake the next time. He stopped Freddie Tukes in 7 rounds of a 10-round fight.
Great guy, Freddie, and training fighters now, and going to be a great asset to Australian boxing.
Yep.
I had Freddie actually when he first landed was doing some training out of my gym.
Yep.
Down there. And, he's a gentleman. He's been around the sport for a long time and really has a good amount of knowledge.
Hasn't he ever?
And you wouldn't know he's a fighter. If you didn't know he was a fighter, you wouldn't know it, would you?
No, you wouldn't. He's a classic. But the fighters that he's been with, there's about 30 world champions he's actually been a paid sparring partner for.
I thought he was more rapper when he walked in the gym.
The records for these two individual fighters is Benny Capps has 17 fights, 12 wins, 3 losses, and 4 by way of KO. And, of course, Chaos, Kolby Johnston, 7 fights, 7 wins, 4 by way of knockout. Comes out of Townsville, Gonzo Hooper, gets a lot of good sparring up there with the boys. And southpaw, and he can switch hit, he tells me.
I've got to tell you this. Rick Breeze was just telling me recently, Benny's just completed he's actually a qualified lawyer, I think. He's just completed his university degree, and now he's working on building sites. But he is a qualified lawyer. I'm sure that's what his qualification is.
And a good corner there.
Big shots.
Yeah, he's got the goods, Benny Capps. He won't. I'll tell you what, if Kolby Johnston's going to get away with him, he'll know he's in a fight.
Certainly will.
And he's in good hands, Ben Capps, with Rick Breeze and the team out at Eltham.
Rick's boys always come in really fit. Great condition. Good left hook there from Benny Capps. Better round by Benny Capps this round.
Yeah, he's certainly taking the fight up to Kolby, trying to find a way through that maze of punches that Kolby's always got.
Yeah, well, that's the one. That's the one. The right, straight right. Perfectly executed there by Ben Capps.
I'll tell you something, you can teach skill, but you can't give a fighter heart, and certainly Capps has got a load of it. He's been caught with some solid shots, but he keeps coming on.
And he's staying on top of, you're right, Mark, he's just staying on top of Kolby, and he's actually nullifying his attack. He's got a sound attack, Kolby Johnston. I don't know about his defence as he works the body on Ben Capps. We're inside 10 seconds.
Not much in this round. I reckon Ben Capps nearly pinches that.
And what I like from Johnson is he changes levels nicely. Leaves low, comes up high, gets busy upstairs and goes down and changes on the angle nicely as well. Weaves off and throws as he weaves, sort of constantly. So as you said, Barry, against the counter fighter, they'll be waiting for that break, and the break just doesn't come because he's busy.
He's very busy.
See some of that action there. You see Ben Capps taking the fight up to Kolby. Kolby has his moments there. You can see some of those punches, the awkward southpaw stance, but Ben has always got a punch on the way as well, and he actually pressured Kolby into making a couple of mistakes.
He did, and he actually shook Kolby a couple of times. Look, great 2 rounds so far. I reckon one apiece. I reckon Ben Capps pinched that round. Rick Breeze is confident in this fight because he saw Kolby Johnston fight Daniel Smith. He actually thought Daniel Smith deserved the decision when they fought. It was a very close fight.
And Kolby Johnston, born in Mount Isa, now lives in Townsville. He's a fully qualified electrician, but he's just decided to put that on hold as he chases his professional boxing career. And see that nice little right club just over the top of Benny Capps' left lead there. That's a good punch for Kolby.
There's the solid left hand.
Down the left, beautiful. Beautiful power and rotation.
What he did, Mark, you'll see that he just put that left hand out there and let Benny walk straight onto it.
He certainly did.
How can a young guy with just 7 professional fights be so calm, so collected and so experienced?
You know why? Because he's had hundreds of tent fights with Fred Brophy.
Right. Can you imagine he probably would have been fighting a few blokes with a belly full of beer and about 16 stone who grow a lot of ticker over the beer.
And would cop a flogging from this young man.
Wouldn't know what. How'd you meeting him on a dark night in a wet, rainy alley? She wants to take your money. I'll give him the car and the house and the missus.
Step back.
Round number 3 here at the Melbourne Pavilion.
Very competitive fight so far.
Hope you're enjoying our night.
Nice step left, throw right from Capps. Then he's starting to find his angles a little bit more as the fight progresses, and I think that's sort of a natural progression when an orthodox fighter comes up against the southpaw. It does take you a round or two to just mentally adjust
to your strategy.
And it's just to find their range, really, isn't it, Mark? You know, just to find their range, settle into a rhythm. A rhythm and range is what every fighter needs to get. The fighter who gets into a rhythm and gets into a range first is always going to be very hard to beat. And as we know, timing beats power, timing beats speed.
I suppose I'll ask you this as well, Barry. When you're fighting a southpaw, the use of the jab, it's still there, but it's probably not as useful, if that's correct terms.
It's very difficult to use your jab against the southpaw. And look, my only 3 losses ever in Australia to Australians were the southpaws. I did reverse one of them, and the other one of them, the only guy who ever beat me, really legitimately beat me, was Jeff Malcolm. But there was a reason for it, and I won't go into it. He was a great fighter.
Terrific fighter.
Yeah.
And Awkward, the only fighter in Australian history with 100 professional wins.
Yes, incredible.
He's gone missing lately. We haven't seen the Flash for a while. Haven't
heard from him for a long time.
And Kolby Johnston starts to work the body there as Ben Capps backs him up to the ropes. And the pair lock up in centre ring as referee Wayne Ashdown orders to break. It's Kolby Johnston in the black, and he tags Ben Capps in the blue.
So counter right, it was over the top there.
Big left hook.
Left hook again.
Ben Capps is fighting a really good fight with the southpaw, throwing the right hand followed by the left hook. As you said, Hammer, you know, your jab is not worth much against the southpaw. He's just pouring with it, looking to set up the right hand and then come over with the left hook, which is the way to fight a southpaw. The best exponent of fighting a southpaw I've ever seen is the great Kostya.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely, and you know there's a lot of talk about how to beat a southpaw. Lots of people say you only beat a southpaw with the right hand, and some of the other exponents will always say a left hook beats a southpaw. We see the end of round number 3.
Mate, I reckon right hand, left hook.
Right hand, left hook. I was just about to say that's a perfect combination.
Yes.
And just do it over and over again.
That was another very close round, Barry Michael. I've actually given that round on my unofficial scorecard to Benny CAPPS.
Yep.
There wasn't a lot in it, but boy, we're in for a good fight here.
We certainly are.
As we see some of the action. There's a little left hook by Kolby, and there's just over the back. Again, Ben CAPPS always got a punch coming. He starts to back Kolby to the ropes, and there he works away.
As you said, Brad, very composed. This composed Kolby Johnston. Absolutely at home in the ring, that's for sure.
Seconds down.
And it's a good fight. Benny CAPPS made his professional debut on 11-11-11. The 11th of November in 2011. He's fought 105 rounds as we wait for round number 4. And of course, his opponent, he made his pro debut on the 24th of May in 2014. He's boxed just 23 rounds. He's been a professional for just 23 months, almost 2 years. Kolby Johnston.
I think we were talking earlier in the previous round about the jab setup. I think the guys now are starting to use that left. Instead of to the head, they're starting to measure it to the body to feel the rear hand. So measure with the lead to the chest and then roll the
come
rear.
out with the right, or the left
rear,
hook.
yeah.
Benny's fighting the right fight.
He is. He's keeping Kolby on the back foot. He's not letting him get set. Not letting him get his. He can't attack.
You know, you got to give Benny. He's got credit. He's got a real good kit of punches as well. He goes up and down. You know, he's a smart fighter.
Second warning by referee Wayne Ashdown for just telling Kolby to keep his punches up.
You too, Ben. Keep him up, mate.
Good respect between both these guys, which is great to see. Always great to see.
Good sportsmanship. Both of them are good sportsmen.
Yep.
And I guess anyone that comes out of Rick Breeze's gym, I think that's one of the things that Rick will always do. His son is the WBA Asia champion. He beat...
good work there from Ben CAPPS.
Punches there. He's working Kolby. He's outworking Kolby at the moment.
Yep.
And for all our fans up in Townsville, I know you'll be watching all the team up there. Be supporting Gonzo Hooper and Kolby Johnston at the Flattenham Boxing Club at West End.
Halfway through the round.
Touch glove again.
With, both fighters giving it their all. Benny CAPPS putting the pressure on. Kolby Johnston coming back with great combinations. Big punches landed by both boys, both very tough fellas.
Kolby
double left hook.
Tag him a little bit there, Barry. Starting to tag Kolby Johnston. Hurt Kolby there. Left hook, right hand. And Mark Kolby's in a little bit of strife here. Just the weight of punches, the number of punches. He's in strife, Kolby.
He is. Benny
trying to fight back.
Oh, my God. What about the punches by both? And Benny CAPPS relentless here.
He's in strife right above our commentary position. And Kolby Johnston a little bit of strife. The referee's going to stop it. He stopped it.
Wow.
Good stoppage.
How do you do?
He came, he delivered, he did the business. Ben CAPPS showed a lot of respect to his opponent, Chaos Kolby Johnston, and Kolby is just disappointed.
What a fight. I knew this was going to be a cracker. I really knew this was going to be a ripper. Benny CAPPS, you've got to take your hat off to him.
I'll just ask you, gentlemen, the fight was stopped. Do you think that was fair, or would
I think it was premature.
Yeah. And let me tell you, Mark.
Do you think it was premature?
I do. Yep.
I tend to agree with that,
maybe a little bit of premature, but look, the other thing was that Kolby was just copying punches after punch.
True.
He wasn't fighting back. The referee's sole use in there is the protection and welfare of the fighter. We're not there for our good looks.
I agree with that too, and people can get seriously hurt up there, but
he wasn't wobbled though. He wasn't sitting on the bottom.
He was copping a lot of punishment. Let's have a look, because it was pretty hard to see him because he was in right in the corner post here.
Left hook.
Let me have a good look.
You watch here. He is wobbling a little bit here. You watch his eyes roll just a little bit. I reckon Wayne just had noticed that. You watch. He's on the background. There he is.
His hands are still up for the most though.
No defence coming back at all. He's trying to fight his way. The ropes are holding him there. He's fighting his way back.
I reckon he's throwing punches back as well.
Still landing punches.
More here. You watch. There's 3 or 4 here. Bang.
2. Yeah, he was hurt there. Yeah.
Not defending himself.
Yeah, maybe.
No, for me, good call. Wayne Ashdown, good call.
Yeah. Look, referees always got the got the safety of the fighters.
Another
No, I think it's
angle.
no. He look. That's a better angle of it there. Look at that.
Yeah, no,
No,
great
good call.
Wayne
Good
Ashdown.
call.
Look at that, he's
Definitely
in
a good
trouble
call.
there. Yeah.
Hammer. I've got to say yes. Yeah, you're right, Brad.
You've got to remember,
That's exactly why I asked the question. Because for me, I'm like, could we have let that one go?
Well,
Yeah.
I think, Mark, from where we're
debate.
seated, and Kolby had his back to us, we actually couldn't see.
Yeah, it was
the
very
punches
difficult.
there.
But no, I think you're right, Brad. It was a very timely stoppage.
And a great effort by that man, Ben CAPPS. And look, he's really disappointed, Kolby. It's his first loss. But look, let me tell you, he is going to learn a lot out of that loss.
Undoubtedly.
How much composure does Kolby Johnston have? Fantastic. I tell you what, someone to look out for as well. But Benny CAPPS, take nothing away from that man. Just had a torrid first round and then just pushed through. And as I said, you cannot teach heart. And Benny CAPPS has got loads of it.
We might go upstairs to our ring announcer, Mr. John Demicoli, to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 17 seconds into round number 4. Your referee, Wayne Ashton, put a stop to this contest, declaring your winner via TKO, Benny Boston CAPPS.
And he can be well happy with his work, Ben CAPPS. As the boys pose for some photos.
He did have a hard first round though, didn't he, Brad?
Yes,
and to tell you what, showing what he's made of, CAPPS.
Absolutely.
And certainly a champion to make him for sure, Benny CAPPS.
And I've got to give thanks to our matchmaker, Alfredo Casana, as we see some of the action in that last round. And look at this for action. The boys went right at it. Watch this, there's the right hand and the left hook by you. This is early in round number 1. Kolby Johnston, where he got on top of Ben CAPPS. He jumped on him and didn't give him time to breathe for a little while. And then we see Benny CAPPS come back into it. That's what champions do. They dig deep, they bite hard down on the mouth guard, and they're not defeated until the final bell rings. And there we see Kolby starting to get tagged a little bit.
Yep. I think after CAPPS worked out the southpaw,
Yep.
he had his plan, stuck
And he
to
was
it,
comfortable, Mark.
and he
He looked
affected it
comfortable.
beautifully
Yep.
all the way to that finish.
Yep.
Well
And
done.
Maybe
well
a lack
done.
of experience from Kolby. You know, he threw everything at Benny CAPPS, and it was a tremendous effort. And look, he's a very, very fit guy. Anyone that comes out of Rick Breeze's gym is always very, very fit. They're immaculately fit. And look at this. This is the finishing touches to the fight, almost there. And Kolby doesn't leave anything to the imagination.
Well, he caps it off with a great win. Get that?
He did.
Caps it off, Brad. Come on. I had to pull it out.
You have.
But
And Ben CAPPS was just hard at the ball all night. After that first round, he knew he was in for a hard night at the office. And we'll see the end of this round here.
Sensational battle again from the Melbourne Pavilion.
And we'll be back on the other side of this break.